What's up everybody, this is Danny, and today I'm going to be unboxing the brand new 3DS XL and also giving you a full comparison to the previous model. This new version for 2015 is available now for $199, so if you're interested in this system, I will leave a few links in the description section below. Now this version has a lot of improvements over the previous model, including the super stable 3D feature, built-in amiibo support, and the inclusion of NFC. It also has the improved processor that is now quad-core and features double the RAM, and also has a C-stick for improved controls. So all of the other features that were enjoyed on the previous system is also carried over for the 2015 model. So let's go ahead and crack open this box and see what comes with it. The first thing you'll notice is how slim the box is, and in just a minute you'll figure out why. But it's available in a few different colors. This is the gray or black model, but it's also available in the red color, and also there are a few limited editions including the Monster Hunter 4 version and the Gold Zelda model, which I really wanted but I forgot to pre-order it, so they are sold out everywhere. But that's what you get when you don't pre-order. But here you go, it's just the console and documentation in this box, but there is no charger, which I'm super disappointed in. I mean, for $200 in my opinion, I think you should get a charger. But anyways, here is the new 3DS XL in this gray color. It's pretty glossy and looks similar to the old model, but we'll do a full comparison of the two in just a minute. You don't get a whole lot in this box, just some AR cards. You also get an operation manual or a quick start guide, so that's some good bathroom reading for you right there. And there is the console itself with a thin sheet of foam protecting the screen, and once you remove that, you are ready to go. So I happen to have a last generation 3DS XL right here with me, so I'm going to tell you all the things that are different about these models so you can decide if it's worth upgrading to or not. The design is pretty much the same as the last generation. It keeps the same clamshell design, and also the chassis remains rounded, so aesthetically it looks very similar. Now most of these changes are physical. For example, if you look at the 3D cameras on the top, the sockets are much smaller, and even though they are the same sensors, the holes are much smaller and they look much more compact in that shell. So in terms of thickness, you won't see much of a difference at all, for they're about the same size, so it does not look any thinner. One of the first things I noticed is that the power button has moved to the front of the device, and you will also see a third LED indicator for the Wi-Fi, which was a physical button on the last generation. And you will also notice that the pen has moved to the front as well. The 3.5mm headphone jack has been shifted to the middle, and now the cartridge slot is located on the bottom left instead of the rear placement on the last generation. So I'm not sure what I think about that quite yet. So what do you guys think about that? The volume rocker has now been taken away from the body and moved to the side of the top display, and like I mentioned earlier, the physical Wi-Fi switch has been removed altogether and is now only a toggle on the software side. So on the back, the USB ports have been shifted a bit. The single lanyard is here instead of the two on the sides, and you will see the inclusion of some new triggers, the ZL and ZR. So that is a nice feature, so the more buttons the better, right? The next change is purely cosmetic, but the speaker holes are slightly larger and in a different pattern, and there is a look at the volume slider on the left side of that top display. If you look below the bottom of the secondary screen, you'll notice a single home button now that's rubberized instead of having the select and start buttons flanking it. And the start and select buttons have now been moved below the X, Y, and AB buttons, and those buttons are now colorized on the new version, which I think is a nice aesthetic touch. And above that, you will see the brand new C-stick, which is meant to give you dual analog control, but it's more like a little nub. It doesn't have as much tactility as I wanted, but I will show you how this works later on in this video. The pen is a little beefier here on the newer version. It's a little bit wider and it's also a little bit shorter. It feels slightly better in the hand, but the functionality of the pen is exactly the same as the old pen. Unfortunately, on this model, you don't get a resolution bump on the displays at all, but you will see that there's a brand new sensor on the side of the front-facing camera, and that is for the new Super Stable 3D feature, where it tracks your face, so no matter if you are shifting the angle of the display, it keeps that 3D stable. Now, this is a demo of how it works, and right now it's tracking my facial movements, so even though that I'm moving it, it will keep that 3D absolutely stable, and for the most part, it works really well. Now what this translates to is a much better 3D experience. I mean, I think it makes it so much better. I used to get a ton of headaches from it and I used to just turn off the 3D, but now it's really usable and I just keep it on. So you really have to see this for yourself. I think this is how the 3D was meant to be on the original model. Another feature that I think many people will like is the inclusion of the C-Stick and the new triggers on the back. So any games that support the Circle Pad Pro will work flawlessly with the new 3DS XL. I have Resident Evil Revelations right here and it works just fine. I'm using the C-Stick and to be honest, it doesn't feel as good as a second analog stick. The C-Stick is small, it's more like a little nub. It just lacks that tactile feel of a second analog. So even though it works, I'm not a huge fan of it so far. The new version does get a processor bump. Now it's the same processor, but it gains 2 cores and it doubles the RAM. So how does it perform on day-to-day tasks? We'll go ahead and turn both of these on at the same time and see which one boots up first. And there it is, the new version boots up first, but the difference is pretty minor. I mean, it's only about a second faster or so, and you'll see that pretty much all across the system functions. So we hit the Nintendo eShop at the same time, and you will see that the XL loads it about a second faster. I mean, that's not a huge deal whatsoever. I mean, at least to me it's not. But it's nice to see the UI get faster all across the board. I mean, no more hangups and delays in the UI, so I think this makes for a much better experience overall. In my personal opinion though, I don't think that this is the sole reason or a definitive reason to upgrade just by itself. I mean, everything is zippier across the board, but the performance of existing games really haven't changed too much. Let's load Resident Evil on both systems here, and you can see that the startup time is almost the same. It's only about a second difference here, and on a few tests actually, the older XL loaded the game up faster, so I thought that was kind of weird. But I think it's not the existing games, but the games of the future is where this new 3DS XL will shine, for I'm sure that the newer games will require more processing power and more RAM to play them, so the newer version will be more future-proof for sure in terms of gaming power. Now, I was crossing my fingers for a resolution bump here on the displays, but I'm sure that will be for the next generation. But I did notice that the new XL has a more contrasted display. The color temperature is a little cooler, which I prefer, and I think it actually looks a little bit better. So this could just be a manufacturing thing, but I noticed a difference right away. So let me know in the comment section below, which one do you think looks better, the new one or the older XL? There's one thing that I forgot to tell you is that the sensor on the side of the front-facing camera is not just for the 3D tracking, it is also an ambient light sensor, so you can use the auto brightness feature to take advantage of the auto dimming capabilities. So I'll show you that right here. Just cover up the sensor and you will see the screen get dimmer. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing and comparison of the new 3DS XL. It's not a huge upgrade, it's more like an evolutionary spec bump, but it does have great stable 3D, which is a nice improvement, at least for me. It has the extra functionality like the C-Stick and the new triggers. It has a new processor, it's quicker all around. It has an easier replaceable battery and a micro SD card slot all behind the backplate, which you'll have to loosen some screws to get to. But I think if you own the last generation, it's really not a must-have upgrade. But if you're in the market for one right now, then I think this is a no-brainer. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and let me know if I should do more gaming videos like this. And if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.